Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. Hope you have as beautiful weather in your neck of the woods as we do here in Middle Tennessee. Very sunny, very warm. I'm actually able to be in short sleeves today, and I'm really going to make as much of this day as I possibly can. I thought that I would come to you today and talk a little bit about my toilet kit that I'm going to be using on my Appalachian Trail attempt this year that I will be starting in early April. I have a medical condition called Interstitial Cystitis, which kind of makes my toilet kit a little bit different. However, I am not going to talk about that through the first part of the video. I am just going to cover my standard toilet kit, and then so anyone who is interested in knowing the adaptations that I've made to it to accommodate my medical condition, stick around to the end. I will warn you, we may get into a little too much information, and so if something like that makes you uncomfortable talking about bodily functions, I will give you a warning so that you can go ahead and opt out early. So I am joined outside today by my little buddy, my Bitsy. See my little sweetheart over there? Yeah, she's out here roaming around enjoying the sunlight too. So if you hear any barks, any growls, any scratching, any whimpering, it'll be her. And I tried to make this video like 3 times yesterday, and when I went back over it and listened to it again, I was made aware of how many background noises we have. Evidently planes are going to continue to fly over. I don't live very far from the interstate, so you'll probably pick up on that, as well as like the mail carrier and garbage trucks going up and down the street. So with that said, let me get this set up and we will talk about my toilet kit. When we hike in the national parks, state parks, or really anywhere in general, we need to practice what's called leave no trace principles. The simplest way to put that is when you leave, it should look exactly like how it looked before you got there. One of the main ways that we can ensure that things are still clean and healthy for the next group of people that comes through is to do one simple thing, and that's to bury your poop. This is a cat hole trowel, one of many that's on the market right now. This one is by a company called Bogler. It is less than an ounce in weight, very light. What I liked about this one was that it had this little plastic guard right here. Okay, the wind's starting to blow, so if the camera shakes a little bit, I'm sorry about that. But this one has this nice little curve on it to give it some rigidity, since it is so lightweight, fits nice in your hand. But this little plastic cap right here protects your hand when you really have to kind of push down because the ground is hard. It does have a serrated blade here and here and here that helps cut through any little roots that you might have to go through. These holes right here have 2 functions. Not only does it make the trowel lighter, but it also gives you a place that your thumb can rest when you're digging to kind of help give you a little bit more leverage. I got this one on Amazon. It was a little less than $20, I do believe. Yeah, it's very, very light. This will probably stay in a pocket on the outside of my pack so that it's very easy to get to. And also, your cat hole is supposed to be about 6 inches deep, a little bit more. That's about the length of this trowel. So it also serves as a measuring device. Once you get done, cover it back up with dirt, carry on. This is something everybody needs to have, toilet paper. I do have a lot. That's because of my interstitial cystitis, which I will get into later. Another thing about leaving no trace is toilet paper does not decompose as well or as quickly as human waste. So some areas actually require that you carry or use toilet paper out with you. I just plan on doing that in general. So I bought, this is an odor proof bag. It's by a company called OpSac. You can get them in different sizes. I wrote on this one, keep this bag. That way whenever I get to a trash can, if I'm really tired from hiking or not sleeping the night before, this is just a reminder to me not to throw this one away because this one has a special property. So I do intend, once I use my toilet paper, it's gonna go in my odor proof bag and it will be kept separately from the rest of my trash. All right, there's that. Now for all the ladies out there, it's been known that a lot of times people will have bandanas that they will carry with them, and they'll have them for different uses. Some people use them as a sweat rag, use them as a handkerchief. A lot of ladies will designate one to use as a pee rag so that they don't have to use toilet paper all the time. Well, there are some companies that have decided to make a product that will help us with this that might be a little more hygienic. This is by a company called Kula. It's a Kula cloth. You can get them with different designs. I chose one that's got a little tent design. Can you see that right there? I think it's really cute. It's also got stitching on it here and here that glows in the dark. So if you need to get out of your tent in the middle of the night, go take a potty break, you can see this easily in the dark. The back side of this is made out of an antimicrobial material. So this is the side that you will actually dry with. And it is also quick drying. You have this nice little loop here with a two-way snap. It's got a head on both sides. And while it's wet, if you don't want it hanging on your pack and rubbing other things, you can actually snap it to where the used section is inside. So you can either hang it like that until it dries, or you can turn it around and have the wet side facing the air so that it dries a little better. So kind of choices with that. These are around $20. Some are a little over $20. And I know there's more than one company now, but like I say, this one is made by a company called Kula Cloth. And I haven't used one of these before, so I'm really anxious to see how well that goes on the trail. Now, a lot of people will use, have learned that in the backcountry, not only using toilet paper, but you can get a little attachment and put it on your water bottle and it'll squirt out water, so you have a backcountry bidet. I have not had satisfactory results with those. So what I will be doing, instead of having wet wipes, some people will get a wet wipe and they'll dry them out ahead of time so they're not carrying that water weight. There's also compressed dry little towelette like pellets, and you put water in them and they expand. Well, I've put so much money into so much equipment for this hike that I decided to take the cheap scout route on this one. So I took a paper towel that has a cloth-like feel and I cut it into strips. And I will have my water bottle with me. I'll just put a few drops on here, get it as wet as I need it to be, use it to do the job. It'll go in my odor proof bag along with my used toilet paper and it'll get packed out. This will be in my toilet kit with me at all times, but it will be in an outside pocket on my backpack so I can get to it easily. This is one of the many devices on the market now for females to be able to pee standing up. A lot of them advertise that you do not have to pull your pants down in order to use these. I have not been able to figure out that part yet. For me, maybe it's the type of clothing I wear, I don't know. But I never can get it placed properly with my pants still up, so I have to lower them a little bit more than what I'm comfortable with in order to use a device like this. Oh, there goes the wind. Let's try this again. Stay there. Okay. But anyway, it does serve its purpose. If you go into a privy or any kind of, even a public restroom, if the toilet does not look like it is comfortable enough for you to feel safe sitting on it, you can actually use this standing up. It's nice and rigid, has a slight curve to it to help fit your body. And you can go online. This one is called the P style, just P-S-T-Y-L-E. And you can go on their website or on Amazon and look in the directions. And this has a very good detailed instruction on how to use it. Once you do use it though, you can just kind of shake it. It repels liquid pretty well. It's wide enough to kind of accommodate a fairly heavy stream, and very easy to clean at the end of the day. Just use it with a little bit of soap and water, shake it dry, let it air dry, and then if after every use it goes in its own little plastic bag that I have for it right here. This will also help if you're in an area that maybe doesn't have enough clearing. If you're not around it privy and you're having to go out in the woods to pee, and there's a lot of brush and you don't find a really good area to squat, that's a perfect thing. Also, I went through about a couple of years ago where I had knee problems and I could not, I couldn't bend it hardly at all. This would be very accommodating for anyone because of any reason that can't squat. And then of course, hand sanitizer. Every toilet kit should have this. So once we use any of these products, hand sanitizer, nice and clean, goes back in my toilet kit along with everything else. This fits very nicely in a gallon-sized bag. There's my odor proof bag. My cooler cloth will be attached to the outside of my pack. And then anytime that I need to step off trail, I will have all of this stuff with me. So that is your basic toilet kit. So at this point, I'm going to go into some other items that I have tried, some things that I have had success with due to my interstitial cystitis. So at this point, if you don't want to hear anything further, I thank you for watching the video this far, and I will be seeing you on the trail very soon, I hope. Have a good day. Okay, we will continue on with the toilet kit. For folks who have any type of painful bladder condition, some of these might be a little helpful for you. If you don't know what interstitial cystitis is, it is a condition where for one reason or another, because nobody really knows what causes it, your bladder lining is compromised in some way. Some of us have what's called Hunter's lesions, which is like some little ulcers or blisters on the inside lining of our bladder, and as your bladder feels, it can cause excruciating pain. Other people have cracks and leaks, and most of the time whenever we have a urinalysis done, there will be blood in our urine, and that is something that's just kind of every day for us. So there's no cure for this. Like I say, they don't even know what causes it yet. And because there's no cure, there's also very few medications. They can try to treat the symptoms, but a lot of the medications that you use, there's so many side effects. My experience with that has been that I usually get the side effects to where I can't take them. There goes the barking. Please ignore it. She's acting really vicious right now. One of the medications that they used to, and a lot of people had success with this, but it also had very serious side effects, is a product called Elmeron. And if you watch TV at all, you've probably seen the commercials for the class action lawsuits on this medication right now, because long-term use, and almost everybody that has success with it has to use it long-term or their symptoms come back. And but it can cause a form of, I believe it is macular degeneration, and it is causing people to go blind. So, you know, it's very hard. Do I want to go blind? Don't want to have pain. Hard decisions. So what they do in the meantime is they just kind of treat the symptoms. Well, one of the symptoms that you have is that as your bladder starts to feel It's very painful. Think of lemon juice on a cut. That's about the best way I can describe it. Some people describe it as a constant feeling of having a urinary tract infection. But regardless of that, the main thing is we have to pee more often, whether it's because of pain or whether it's because over time our bladders just do not hold as much. That's what has happened to me, and so I have to pee very frequently. My bladder does not hold anywhere near the normal volume that it should, and so because of that I have had to make some modifications to how I live my daily life. One of the things that I do is I always have something with me that I can pull over and use since there's not public restrooms everywhere. Plus it just happens so suddenly sometimes that you just don't have time to get anywhere. Now, some of the things that I have done, I've noticed that for me, and it may be for you too, I don't know, I've noticed that the alkalinity or acidity of my urine can make my symptoms worse. So what I've begun to do is monitor my pH. They make several different kinds of pH strips. I was told at first you could get them at a drugstore, but you can't. Now you can get a pool chemical kit that has them in it, but it's going to cost you a lot more money. So I have a couple of examples here that I've used before. This one is like a little plastic strip, and it has a couple of different colored bands on it. Well, all you do is you either pee on it or you catch your urine in some kind of container and then just dip it. And then these little lines will change color and you match it up with the colors on the bottle, and it's supposed to tell you what pH it is. This one works the same way, except it has kind of different colored strips. And you match it up to the colors like that. This one, this is the one I've decided for me is easier to do, and it's a little more compact to carry with me. This one has the pH strips. They're like in a little leaflet, like a book. They do have glue on the back of them, hold them together, and it's pretty much just like the litmus paper that you used in school. Once you either pee on a strip or dip it and it gets wet, you only have one color to fool with, and you match it to the colors here on the back. This one's very easy to use. I like it because it's in a small container. I keep these with me at all times, as well as a little container of baking soda. If I test and I'm coming out as acidic and I'm experiencing pain that day, what I will do is I will put about an 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda in a half glass of water, and I will drink it down. And then I will follow that with more water for a couple hours. And usually within about 30 minutes, it helps to make my urine a little more alkaline to where it helps to alleviate my pain. Now, because my bladder has gotten so small, one of the things that I've begun to carry with me is this little jar. This is my little buddy right here. I carry this with me anytime I leave my house. It's going to go with me on the Appalachian Trail, and it is going to be kept very handy to me. When you're hiking, you are supposed, and you have to go to the bathroom, you have to get off trail a certain number of feet, as well as stay a certain number of feet from any water sources. If I did that every time that I needed to go pee, I would be probably walking triple the distance than what the actual trail is. So what I plan to do, what I can do with this is all the clothing that I will be hiking in, all my bottoms, they will be extremely stretchy. I am able to take this, it took some practice. I'm able to work this down inside my clothing, use it, work it back out, put the lid on it, store it. And then once this little jar gets full, which for me is about 3 times, I will carry it off trail and I will empty it. This will get washed out once a day with some antibacterial soap and rinsed thoroughly and allowed to air dry. This will be with me in my tent and always with me on trail. Because I constantly have to go to the bathroom, when I started hiking, I thought that using a device to where I could pee standing up would be helpful. So I got here in my toilet kit was that pee style. Let me get that back out because I want to show you something about that. Now, like I said, this works very well, but because all of these products are designed to clear off any droplets as you remove it. So you use it, you're against it, and they recommend tilting it down and pulling it against the skin as you move it forward to clean off any drops, which is a great idea. But when you go as often as I do, it starts causing some irritation after a while. So I like this one, I think, the best of all of these, just for what my uses are. All of these are great products. I would recommend, if this is something you're interested in, just try it. I would recommend trying it in the shower first, because I don't know about you, but I've peed my whole life either squatting down or sitting on a toilet. Changing that and doing it standing up, laying down, upside down, whatever, it's a whole new mindset, and I have to get my mind in the right place. So that's why they recommend you practice these things before you actually have to use them. This one is called Go Girl. This one is very soft, very pliable, very comfortable to use. The benefits of it is also at the downfall. If you try to use this while clothed, it is so soft that unless you can get your hand, it actually requires you to use both hands, because you have to support it at the back and at the front to make sure you have a good seal. And with my clothes still on, that's almost impossible. So it gets dislodged, have leakage, doesn't work that well for me. Like I say, it's very portable. I think that's what a lot of, you can stick this in a pocket if you have one. But I would not recommend going out and buying both of them, but since I had both of them, this is the most satisfactory use I have with them. You can put the Go Girl inside the pee style. The pee style gives it the rigidity that you need to keep it from becoming dislodged, and then this is so nice and soft against your skin that you're able to press it up one-handed. You can do it one-handed. Put your thumb here, hold it still, put it where it needs to be, do your business, pull it forward. This nice soft lip helps avoid irritation. But then you have two you have to clean. So that didn't work for me. This one is also called, this one's called a Pybella. It works a little differently in that this one advertises it can be used in any position. It works great. What didn't work for me though is that the way you have to use it, you put this to where your flow is going to go around your urethra, and then this, go look at the direction, it'll tell you how it's used. But this is pressed up against the back wall of the vagina. If you have any type of bladder or uterine prolapse, this may not work for you, because this resting against it after a while, just because you're going to press hard enough that you don't have any leakage around it, it can cause some irritation after a while. So that's why this one didn't work for me. However, if it works for you, you can use it in any position. When you go to look at their directions, it will show someone sitting in a car with loose leg shorts on. Shows you how to use it. Another one for someone who is totally bedridden, and they are able to use it. So I was really heartbroken when this one didn't work out for me. So we came to this one. I came across this one recently. This one is called Spouty, S-P-O-U-T-I. Show you this one a little closer. This is very soft. It is a very soft silicone. And then it's got this tube. It fits right in there. It's a very tight fit, so you have no leakage. This one is pretty much used like this one. You place it pretty much the same way. Now, what they advertise is that this one is comfortable enough you can leave it in position for hours. So when I saw this one, I just got really excited. However, once I got it into position and started moving around like I would be hiking, such as stepping up high, squatting down, bending over, picking things up, it would become dislodged. And I know that on trail, probably 80% of the time, my hands are probably going to be nasty, and I don't want to have to keep repositioning this thing. So this one also didn't work for me. However, something I haven't thought about is maybe trying it in my tent when I'm sleeping. So it'd be great to put something in position and be able to leave it all night and use it as needed. Which brings me back to my little jar. This is the only thing that has worked for me 100% of the time. It's a little bulky to try to store, but you can find a way. It's very handy, very inexpensive, doesn't weigh very much. In fact, it's probably about the same weight as the pea style. I will be carrying this with me on trail, like I say, because I've got a feeling there's times that I'm going to be standing up that I don't want to sit on something nasty or squat down on some twigs or bushes or whatever, or maybe there's a lot of poison ivy. So that one will go with me because that's the one that I have the most luck with, but most of the time it's going to be my little jar. So that concludes my modified toilet kit. So I hope this has been some help to you. If you suffer from interstitial cystitis, I want to let you know that there are people out there looking for answers. People have found that sometimes they can alleviate some of their symptoms with dietary modification. I have been working with a lady named Kelly Kreischer, who is a registered dietitian, and she specializes in IC because she has it, so she knows what we are dealing with. If you're interested in talking with anyone about how maybe monitoring your diet can help you, I will list her information below. You can contact her and speak with her and see if she'll be able to help you. There's also an organization called IC Network. I am linking them below if you are wanting to help out in any way to help us find an answer to this and maybe develop some medications for the people that suffer from this condition. I will put that link below as well. So that's it today. If you have any questions, just send me a message. If you don't feel comfortable doing it publicly, you can send me a private message as well. And if I don't know the answer, I will try to find you somebody who maybe can give you that answer. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video or maybe learned something. And if we can help you with anything, just let me know. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like this video, please consider giving us a like and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified, just hit the little bell. Whenever we send out a new video, you will get notification. Until then, happy hiking. I hope you have a day with no pain. See you later, guys.